mid-18th century, many people began to believe in an ideal or polite form. The desire to look or dress in a certain way or achieve a particular body shape led to the development of many new corrective products in hopes of obtaining society's idea of a pleasing form. One very important aspect of the polite form was the hands. Besides being well-shaped, the skin was expected to be smooth, fine, and unblemished. Rough nails or calloused hands indicated someone who worked in manual labor and therefore not a member of polite society. The hands were such an important aspect of obtaining the polite form that in the 1750s, practitioners who specialized in hand and toenail care began to appear. There are no records to indicate the presence of such practitioners in the Edwardsville area when the Stevensons lived here in the 1820s. However, that does not mean Lucy Stevenson failed to care for her hands. She was considered one of the elite members of the Edwardsville Society, and impressions were important. As the mistress of a large working farm, she had little choice but to perform tasks that might cause her hands to become less than polite. Remedies to aid in the care of the hands that could not be bought at a local mercantile were often made at home from recipes available in publications at the time. Unfortunately, we do not know exactly what she did to keep her hands looking lovely, but it is possible to piece a probable routine together using available publications of the day. Perhaps she began with thoroughly cleaning her hands with a small brush and a ball of purified soap. This would remove any excess dirt from the day's chores as well as soften the skin and nails. Several extant publications mention the use of milk or almond milk as a means of obtaining soft white skin. The hands with excessive damage could be washed several times a day, either in hot milk and water or with almond milk or almond paste. These were reputed to make the hands very soft and white. If the hands were exceedingly rough, then this was repeated for several days. A simple non-toxic remedy for the removal of minor sunburn or light freckles was to wash the hands in lime water or lemon juice daily. This was also believed to strengthen and whiten the fingernails. Another recipe combined a small amount of spirits of wine, virgin's milk, and distilled pimpernel with white tansy or bean flowers to create a penetrating application to remove the varnish left by overexposure to the sun. The polite hand also exhibited well-groomed nails. The length was typically trimmed straight with a slight rounding at the corners extended past the fleshy part at the sides. Long nails were not conducive for work and therefore pared every 2 weeks or so. The invention of the modern fingernail clipper did not come about until the late 1800s, so most people used a small penknife or pocket knife to pare the nails. Softening the nail in water or milk made paring much easier. Small sharp scissors were also employed to trim nails to an appropriate length, but some individuals discouraged their use over that of a knife. These tools were the preference of the user but readily available in most households. Shaping of the nail and the removal of calluses or scales caused by sewing was done with a pumice stone or small file. Preferably the stone was well used so it was smooth and soft. When the skin or nail was dry, the pumice stone would be rubbed over the area to easily remove rough patches or shape a nail without irritating the skin or causing pain. Once softened with water, cuticles were easily pushed back using the thumb. This prevented them from overgrowing on the nail, giving it a deformed appearance. If necessary, a small amount of palm oil or pomatum for the skin should be applied to keep the skin soft and hydrated. After hydrating at night, mittens could be worn as a way to keep the hydration in.